Alright everyone, so this video is my plan with me for January. I'm so sorry it's 7 days late, but the end of December was really hectic for me as I went to Japan on holiday. So here on the screen right now, I'm showing you everything I'm going to use or am willing to use for my January spread. Obviously January is in the winter and I usually associate the month with a blue color, usually light blue. So I have multiple pens that are blue, I have some markers in lighter shades of blue, and even some washi tape. This month I plan to be much simpler in my layout as I'm mainly just going to work. I'm not really doing anything this month, and I have another vacation happening in February. So I'm taking this month very, very easy in my bullet journal. So there's not going to be a lot to this video. Alright, so on the screen now you can see that I am making a calendar grid for January. I really like doing these grids because it does help me keep up with my days, what day of the week I'm in, and things like that. With the squares, I can actually write into the boxes like the major event I'm going to do that day. And since I don't plan to have January extremely busy, it shouldn't be a problem just writing directly in the box. This part actually gave me a little bit of anxiety while I was doing it because I don't normally do calligraphy or anything. Actually, I don't do calligraphy at all. And I decided to just freehand writing January in cursive, and most of the time this ends up being a terrible idea because I have terrible spatial recognition. So I'm so glad it didn't end up being extremely squished at the end. But here I'm just drawing little, like, it's supposed to be snowflakes, but they're like the little asterisk that you can do on the computer. So I ended up drawing the little snowflakes in with the large tip of the marker and then went in with the fine tip later to add even more. Now on the second page, I am doing my expenses tracker. And so if you saw my other video, you can tell this is a very simplified version of that one. Usually I do a lot of trackers like habit trackers, outfit trackers, and things like that, even a water tracker. But this month I decided not to, mainly because I feel like with putting so many trackers into my bullet journal, I don't really use it because I think of everything that I have to do and it becomes a chore. And that's not the point of the bullet journal. The bullet journal is meant to help you. So I decided to go extremely simple again so that I can get the full use of my bullet journal. Now with my expenses tracker, I have two sections at the top, which are my counts because I have money in multiple accounts because I work in China. So I have Chinese accounts and then I still have my American accounts. And then the other section would be debts. And under that is where the actual tracking happens. So with my tracker, I put the date, the store, the item I got, how I paid for it, the cost, and then the balance. And I do 2 columns on the same page because usually sometimes my expenses end up being a lot because China is very cheap and I just quickly buy a lot of things up. So now, since the beginning was so short, I am going to also record me putting in my first weekly, which is essentially done, to be honest. But with my weeklies, I put what week of the year it is. I think it's really cool to just, see if I'm like halfway through the year without actually knowing. Like, it's strange. Time is strange in my mind. So I ended up putting week 1, January 1st through, and yes, I had to look that up. I feel very, very sad I had to. I'm not very good with time. So right next to it, I put a mini calendar so I can see where the week is within the month. So within my weeklies, I usually put my work schedule at the top. And this is a piece of paper that I actually tape into my bullet journal using washi tape, because I've printed out little grids that are like the perfect size for my schedule for the week. After that, I end up putting in my major events, and I put the date of the week through there, and then under that I do a very large section for tasks and then a small section for notes. And I hope you enjoy this video. Bye-bye!